my name is Franny, and I am an addict. How are you doing? Today is May 12th, 2020, and I turned 10. That is a miracle. How it happened is the biggest surprise to me. COVID-19 has changed the way everything happens and the way I've been celebrating recovery for the last 9 years. Ordinarily, this would be happening in a room full of people with a cake like this, and it would have 10 candles on it, and a group of my friends who I would ask to share my birthday with me would present the cake, and I would blow out the candles, and I would say something about my anniversary or my 10 years. Oh, and of course they would sing happy birthday. So having to deal with an adjustment of sorts, I have decided to still celebrate my 10-year anniversary, and as you can tell, I've gotten the cake, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to light it. I'm praying that I don't set my fingers on fire. You know, back when I was a crackhead, I was really good at this, you know? I could light all kinds of stuff on fire. 'Cause yes, I like to play with matches. But ever since I quit smoking, and I've smoked, you know, all kinds of stuff, but I even gave up tobacco, life has changed for me. So now all the candles are lit, and ordinarily I would ask you all to sing happy birthday to me, but since you are not around to do that, I found a little ditty on YouTube to help me out. So here we go. There we go. So, my name is Franny, and I'm an addict, and I believe it's an absolute miracle that I have survived 10 years without picking up and using. I first and foremost thank my sponsor for helping me through some rough moments, and a God of my understanding for being part of my support structure, and the steps that have been able to give me a new understanding that life is somehow the gift that unfolds on a day-to-day basis. You know, 10 years ago when I came into the rooms of recovery, I weighed about 125 pounds. Well, you can tell that I no longer weigh 125 pounds. And I was detoxing from all kinds of narcotics, including heroin, crack cocaine, ketamine, and of course, I love some alcohol. So I did whatever it is that you had. And along the way, when I started detoxing, you know, I picked up some other little habits like a shopping addiction, an eating addiction, nicotine. Well, I always had the nicotine addiction thing going on, caffeine addiction. And I started to realize that even though I was learning how to stop using narcotics, I did not stop using other things to fill the emptiness that was going on inside. And so I had to start doing some repair work, some inner child work, and figure out not only why I was using the way I was using, but what purpose did it serve in my world to be this individual that did not care, did not want to enjoy life on life's terms, and would check out the way that I would check out. And that made for a very rough situation. So I started to isolate, and so right at the moment I'm isolating tremendously, but that's because there's a shelter-in-place order. And in my addiction, I isolated because I just didn't want to be around people, and I wanted to just get high, and I didn't feel good about myself. And the opposite is going on. So I'm dealing with a cornucopia of emotions. And, oh my God, these emotions. It took about 8-9 months for them to come back, but when they finally, turned back on and came back into my world, I was just a wreck. I didn't know how to process the feelings that were coming up. I wasn't even quite sure what feelings were coming up, but I knew that I was having all kinds of strange new feelings about things and people and places, and I was realizing there were some things I don't like and some things I do like, and it was just such a new world for me, this recovery that was going on. And so, today I realized that recovery has been a gift for me. It is something that I look forward to every day. And even though I'm struggling with it on a day-to-day basis, I'm grateful for one thing. I live in a very risky neighborhood, so there are narcotics everywhere, and it doesn't matter where I might live at. It all starts right here inside of me. So if I'm not right here, I'm not going to be right out there. So the problem isn't that somebody else may have narcotics, or that somebody else engaged, me into using drugs. The problem is within me. So I had to learn how to deal with why I wanted that in my life. And so I'm grateful that today that's not the case anymore. I'm not wanting to get high. I'm not wanting the destructive patterns going on in my life. I certainly don't want the abusive boyfriend, the abusive girlfriend, the abusive relationship going on in my life. I don't like the police knocking at my door. I don't like that kind of activity going on in my world. And I don't have to live that way anymore. And I am so grateful for that freedom from that kind of bondage that was going on, because, see, when my drug addiction is in charge, I really have no control over what's getting ready to happen next. And that's the saddest thing about Franny when Franny's on drugs. So I'm grateful that you guys have taken a moment to share this with me. I'm going to make this public. I would love to hear a couple of words of response. If you've known me over the years, I'd love to hear what you think, and how we first met. And I hope that your recovery is surviving as well as my recovery is surviving during this COVID-19. And I can't wait until we get back to a meeting and we actually have this celebration for real, and I get my little 10-year medallion, because I'm missing out on that. I really love you guys, and it really hurts that this is the way that it's got to be for now, but this is okay. this is how I'm rolling with this punch. So, my name's Franny, and I'm an addict. Thank you for listening. I hope everybody is well. Bye-bye.